Fast Eddie Chambers. Black. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now.
Yo, what's going on? No Days Off November continues, man. I put the wrong date. A lot of people were hitting me up saying, oh, man, you're missing a day. What's going on? Is the day postponed? Kind of messed up. I put the wrong date. But y'all, I told y'all, man, we here, man. We here, you know what I'm saying? No Days Off November continues, man. I hope everybody had a great day. We're here just to chop it up, man. See if I can help you guys however I can. You know what I mean? A little boxing Q&A today. We just could sit here, chop it up, do whatever. I didn't even bother Eddie today. I told Eddie, man, just relax, man. Cool out. You've been going hard. So we're not going to see Eddie Chambers today. We'll bring him on. I mean, we still got, we got like 9 more days. You know what I'm saying? So no Days Off November. Though we're in day 21, we still got quite a few more episodes to go. So, gave Eddie a break, man. Let's give Eddie a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Eddie's been showing a lot of love, giving you guys a lot of his insight over the course of the last 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you guys already know I'm going to always promote my sale. Black Friday's coming up this week, guys. This is it. This is the grand finale. I'm trying to get everybody and their mother to get all of my courses right now for the best price that I've ever done in my whole entire life. So I'm going to be very proud on promoting this sale, because I know that it's a fantastic deal. I know it's a hell of a deal. If anybody has any questions about the courses, I will go ahead and I will open up under the hood. I will literally go ahead and screen share whatever questions you guys have. So if you guys have questions for the courses tonight, this will be a great time to ask them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have no problem sharing and showing you guys what you're paying for those of you guys out there who are unsure. Hey, man, it's all real. It's all authentic over here. So all we're trying to do is spread knowledge and make it, affordable for people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, let me go ahead and say what's up to the people who's in the chat. We got my man Nick. No Days Off postponed? Nah, man, you're another one who wanted to know. I just put the wrong date, man. Damian, what's going on? Hi, greetings and blessings to you. Another Facebook user. What's up, Coach? What's going on, man? I wish I knew who was talking right now. Dominique, what's good, Ant? What's up, champ? How you doing, man? Sean Breezy, yo, damn, Coach, I should post my heavy bag work. Are you in the community? If you are, hell yeah, post that, man. That's part of it, man. That's part of being part of the community is for. Yo, what's going on, Sai? What's good, champ? How you doing? Coach, who's your top heavyweights ever? Doesn't have to be in order. Yeah, I'm not going to put it in any particular order, but top heavyweights, man. I mean, I guess you got to go with Vladimir Klitschko. He was like the longest reigning, and this is not in order. But if I had to go off the top of my head, I have to probably think this through a little bit more. But we got to go with Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. He was the longest reigning heavyweight. We also got to go with Lennox Lewis, another champion who was a champion for a very long time. We have to go with top heavyweights. We have to go with, this is a tough question, man, because you had eras before, you know what I'm saying, me actually watching. I mean, we got to go with Muhammad Ali, right? Muhammad Ali got to go up there. We have to also go with, let me think here, man. Should we put Mike Tyson up there? Mike Tyson, does he deserve to be top 5 heavyweights? I guess we're gonna throw Mike Tyson up there just off the top of my head. Should I put Larry Holmes up there? Evander Holyfield, Tyson Fury. Damn, you got me, man. This is tough, man. Tougher than I thought. And there's some guys from like the 50s and the 60s that I know that I'm missing. I'm forgetting right now. George Foreman, do I want to put him up there? This 5th slot. Who am I gonna give this 5th slot to, y'all? I need you guys to maybe remind me, man. Can you guys remind me? Throw some names in the chat. Man. I think I'm going to go ahead and just go with Holmes, man, to play it safe. But honestly, man, I think I'm going to need to review the heavyweight division to give you a real solid answer. You know what I'm saying? I think that I'm missing some names. I'm forgetting right off the top right now. Juan, what's going on, champ? How you doing? Shout out to Eddie, 100%. Who are you going for between Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez? I'm not going for anybody. You know, I don't really have a pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have hung out with Demetrius Andrade before. I know him personally. I believe that Demetrius Andrade could really win the fight. I truly, honestly, genuinely believe that Demetrius Andrade could win the fight. It all really comes down to the second half of the fight for me, in my personal opinion. It's all about the second half. The fight starts in round 6, if he makes it to round 6, right? But I do believe he's going to do very well in the first 6 rounds. The second 6 is going to really determine how the fight's going to play out, in my opinion. What's the point of flurries when working the bag mid-shadow boxing when it's really rarely done against live opponents? Though it's rarely done, it is done. You can see fights where you have to dig deep, let your hands go, and you just kind of sometimes you just got to run a number to get a guy up off you. So you have to be able to do it. Secondly, it's good for your conditioning. You know what I'm saying? It's good for your conditioning. It'll help you with your punch count. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, man. You know, sometimes you get a toolbox and you got this big toolbox, but you don't use all the tools in the toolbox. And you say to yourself, man, I haven't used that damn tool. I don't know if I ever used it. It's still in the box. You still got to have the tool in the toolbox because you never know that one time you might need it. My boy Rakeem, my guy, happy holidays to you and your family. You know I'm here for it. My boy, man, I hope all is well with you and your family, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. And you don't want no fight night smoke. Because after this, I'm going to hop on fight night. Any fight night players in here? I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a beast at fight night. There's any fight night players in the building? As soon as I get off this live, y'all can follow me on Twitch, Coach Anthony, but the Anthony is a 0. Okay, ANTH 0 NY. And y'all can follow me on Twitch. If y'all want to go ahead and fight me on Fight Night, y'all can hit me up on there. I still play the old Fight Night, man, from like 12 years ago. So if y'all want smoke on fight night, man, I think tonight's going to be a fight night for me. After I get off of here, a couple of games. So y'all go ahead and hit me up. Coach, do you think Stevenson was afraid of De Los Santos' fight after being an Olympic medalist? I don't think he was afraid. I think he just didn't want to make any mistakes. I just think he didn't want to make any mistakes, and he just wanted to win, and he didn't want a chance getting caught. Okay. No Farias. What's up, my boy? I would like to see a timing course by you, by the way. I don't know if I could make a whole course on timing. I could add some modules in some of the courses, but I don't think we need a whole course on timing. You get timing through sparring, mitt work, double end bag work, speed bag, and just experience, man. Experience. I don't think we need a course for that. Me debating Mike Tyson in top 5 is insane. How is it insane, man? There's a lot of good heavyweights in history, man. I literally forgot some of the names that I should have mentioned. Mike Tyson, as great as he was, you got to think, man. There was a lot of good heavyweights over the years, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's not deserving, but there's other guys that are also deserving. We're narrowing it down to 5 fighters. So it's not insane. Not at all. I can't wait to see you on Fight Night, Coach. You know how I get down, TJ. Rayshawn Hudson, what's up, champ? How you doing, brother? Who's your top 5 heavyweights, Rayshawn? You're like a historian. Who you got? Who's your top 5 heavyweights of all time? There you go. I don't got Mike Tyson in my top 5 heavyweights, but you can make a case if you want. That's what I'm saying. Like, Mike Tyson is probably in my personal top 5 because I grew up with Mike Tyson. However, I don't know if he's really top 5. I'd have to really dissect the heavyweight division to really determine that. And we have to go back to the beginning of time to now. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult, man. People love Mike Tyson because of what emotions he brought out. You know what I mean? And he was a great fighter too. Don't get me wrong. But, it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. You know what I mean? My top 5: Ali, Foreman, Marciano, Joe Louis, Liston. I mean, there you go. Like that's a solid list too. Best thing you love about being a coach. Oh man, one thing I love about being a coach, man, is just passing on what's helped me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing has helped me so much in my life, in so many ways. Like it's crazy, man. Like sometimes I don't even appreciate what boxing has done for my life till I'm in a tough situation And somehow, this has nothing to do with fighting. This is just life. And I really believe the lessons I learned through boxing has helped me in those situations. So boxing, man, is just something that I love to pass on to people. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching it. And then when I see a fighter pull off the techniques that I'm having him do in a real fight situation, man, ain't nothing better than that, man. It's one of the best feelings in the world, you know what I'm saying? Besides having a child, you know what I mean? It's just one of the best feelings you could possibly do, is to teach somebody something and then they pull it off in full succession. When I get emails from people, yo, man, thank you for the courses, man. I won my first fight last weekend, or, you know, I've been implementing what I've been learning of your courses and now I'm understanding everything. You know, it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those things you can't explain, man. I don't know if you ever done like a good deed for somebody and then they just like truly appreciate it. That it's the same feeling, you know what I mean? It's the same feeling. Yo, Rare, what's going on? Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, Ali, Foreman. You see what I'm saying? So Jimmy Jones, man, I wasn't so crazy. How would you describe making boxing a science? Well, how would you describe what makes boxing a science? You know, that's a good question. Not quite sure why people call it sweet science, but it's definitely chess, you know what I'm saying? And it's definitely a skill set, you know. It's a good question, man. I know it's not the perfect science because whenever you throw a punch, you're exposed somewhere. You know what I mean? Coach, do you have to be a certified coach to work corners, USA boxing, and pro fights? Yes, you have to be certified. For USA boxing, as a coach, you got to get a pass book, and it gets renewed every single year. I had a pass book. That thing got destroyed. I literally filled up my pass book as a coach. I wish I still had it. I think I might have it. I don't know where the hell it's at. I'm really upset if I lost it though. I should have like saved it. But it's a book like this big with a bunch of pages. I filled up my book. Literally filled up my book. That's how many amateur fights I worked as a coach. And then as a professional coach, you get licensed in whatever state that you're working the corner in. So example, if I'm gonna fight a fighter if I got a fighter fighting in New York City, then we're gonna get licensed in New York. If we're fighting in New Jersey, licensed in New Jersey. We're fighting in Vegas, we get licensed in Vegas. And I think it lasts 1 year. So if you fought in Vegas, and we fought in Vegas in January, and then we were fighting again in December, I don't have to get relicensed. But if we fight in January or February the next year, we got to get relicensed. And you can get licensed for a professional fight literally when you get to the fight. Now you can get your license like that. It's that quick. So it's not like you have to get licensed now. Like if you ever work with a pro fighter, what's gonna happen is when you get to the venue area, they're gonna take your name, they're gonna make you fill out something, they're gonna take your picture or whatever, and you're gonna get licensed then. People think like you're gonna get a license and now you could walk around and say I'm a licensed coach. It's really not how it works. It typically works when you go with your fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Raymond Ford is fighting in January, most likely. When he fights, I'll get licensed like fight week. I'll get licensed that fight week. I'm not gonna like pull out a license like, hey, I'm Coach Anthony, I'm licensed. No, it's, hey, Anthony, we need you to fill out this paperwork so you can get your license to work your corner tomorrow. Like, that's how it works. We want to see you play Fight Night Champion. You know I'm going to be on there. You know I'm going to be on there pulling upsets. You know what I'm saying? Beating guys I'm not supposed to beat. It's what I do. Everybody wants Fight Night Champion. Okay. I got y'all. The answer to that is study the aspect of the sport. You have to study the art form to regain knowledge and what makes it a science. There you go. Prodigy was good, champ. How you doing, brother? Just doing my boxing Q&A before I get on Fight Night later. Coach, I posted some shadow boxing. Tell me what you think. You want me to review it now? You want me to go into the community and review it now in front of everybody? Or you rather me review it later and hit you up? Because we can either do it now or we can do it later. It's up to you. If you put it in the community, it has to be in the private community. What prospects do you think have a chance at being a champion? Oh man, all these kids are good, man. All these up and coming kids are real good. Does being flat-footed make your punches more powerful? It's not about being flat-footed, it's about being planted, right? So if you're always on the move, like if you're sticking and moving, you're not set. But when you decide to throw power punches, your feet have to be under you. So therefore you can sit down. It's called sitting down on your punches. Boom, 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 right? We're gonna sit down. But if we're moving, we're using our jab or lateral movement, we're more so just landing punches. So yes, planting your feet is going to focus more on throwing power shots, which are typically left hooks to the body, left hooks to the head. But if you got power in your punches naturally, you could knock a guy out. You know what I mean? Or if you time a guy properly, you could knock a guy out, like with a check hook or something like that, like how Floyd did Ricky. You could knock a guy out, and he wasn't necessarily planted. He just kind of like pop, right? But if you go ahead and you got a guy and you're trying to really sit down on your punches and put some hurt on him, yes, you want your feet under you. Guys who are flat-footed necessarily, they might not have the best footwork. So therefore, that's why they fight that way. A lot of times, guys who can't do certain things have to do what they can do. And or their body type structure or whatever the case may be, or however they were trained or taught as well. Hey, coach, you did me dirty last fight, so I need a rematch right now. You're going to get your rematch, but not right now. You're going to get your rematch. You think Andrade has a shot? Yes, I do. I think he has a real shot. I think that if he can maintain 12 rounds of activity, I think he can squeeze out a unanimous decision. Like a split decision, a unanimous decision. But it's the second half of the fight, man. I don't know how he's going to do round 6 through 12. I don't know. And if he gets dropped, or it could look like the Caleb Plant fight where he's doing really well and then Benavidez breaks him down. But if he can keep Benavidez turning, and if he can use his southpaw tactics, if he can land some nice clean shots, if he could tie up Benavidez, if he could do certain things, he can squeeze out a victory, man. He really has that kind of capability. Sure, I don't mind if you got time. All right, let me take a look, man. Give me a second here. Let me go ahead and pull up the Facebook group. All right. I'm gonna get to it in a second, champ, but I got you. Coach, hardest pound for pound puncher all time. Can we get the top two? Hardest pound for pound puncher of all time. I think we might have to throw, man, bro. I mean, Deontay Wilder, George Foreman. Maybe those two guys, Deontay Wilder and George Foreman. I'm trying to think, man, if there's anybody else. Deontay Wilder, George Foreman, middleweight division, the Hawk, Jackson, maybe. Triple G, maybe. It just depends what division. I mean, it's that's tough, man. It's tough because you had a lot of guys out there who were really hard punchers that were sharpshooters as well. So it's kind of hard, man, to really tell. Damn, a lot of people out here dropping their names, man. A lot of people dropping names. Somebody said Malinaji. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a good list. This is a good list. Gerald McClellan was a hard puncher. I don't know if he is hardest puncher of all time though. Like in that category, that I don't know. Because he was a guy that would put a combination on your ass and beat you the fuck up. But I don't know if he can go down as hardest puncher, but he was a hard puncher who threw good punches, good combinations. I don't know about Gerald. I know guys like Hearns, Foreman, Wilder, Triple G, like they were knocking guys out like off of pure power. Gerald McClellan was more so he just put a beat down on you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I give him the hardest puncher category, but it's still a solid list though. Even Mike Tyson. Does Mike Tyson not go on the list as a hard puncher? I mean, 5'10", knocking out big giant heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson should possibly go on that list. Yo, the thing about boxing when we try to narrow things down to like the top five, we have to account all the guys we didn't see fight, all the guys that we don't even know about. Like, there's so many fighters, man, in history, man. So many freaking fighters, man. So many fighters, and it's like bringing it down to 5 fighters, man, is fucking hard, man. Especially when we're talking about eras. You know what I mean? You got all these different eras and you know what I mean? It's just it's a difficult task. Thank you for the super chat. Coach, you can review my sparring videos on here anytime you have my permission. Also, thank you for the coaching info. Yes, so my boy Sai is also part of the private community. You know what, man? I think maybe we'll do something like that. Like we'll make that like something that either we do in the private community, or like we'll make that like a no days off episode. As opposed to, it seems like everybody's kind of chopping it up right now. I'm just gonna wait on that. No Farias, I'm gonna wait on that also. But we could maybe make another day for that, where it's like it's about critiquing you guys. We was watching the video on self-defense. God forbid if you had an altercation and the other person gets knocked out cold, what should you do? What should you do to them? If I knock somebody out, what should I do to them? I'm not sure what you mean. Once I knock them out, what do you want me to do? Like wake them up and try to help them? Like, what are you saying? I'm not quite sure what you mean. If I knock you out, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the scene. I'm out. Like, I'm not staying there. I'm not trying to wake you up. I'm not doing none of that. I'm out of there. Peace. Talk to you later. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sticking around because I don't know how you're going to react. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I knock you out on the street, you know what I mean? And I wake you up, try to put some water on you. Hey, man, wake up, man. Sorry for knocking you out, bud. Can we be friends? Like, you might get up and knock my ass out now, or go get a weapon or a gun or something. You see what I'm saying? I'm out of there. I'm gone. And I'm hoping there's no cameras. I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying? You can't recognize me. Hopefully I got my hat on and it's not a CA hat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting there like, you know what I mean? Hell no, I'm gone. Peace. Ralph, thank you for the super chat. Is there a technique to throw the jab like Tommy Hearns? And what's your favorite boxing match of all time? I never sat there and studied Tommy Hearns' jab. I mean, I never really studied it, but I'm sure if I sat there and watched him again, it wouldn't be that hard to teach. But I wouldn't call it like, you know what I mean? I would have to look at it. I would just simply have to look at it. But there's variations of jabs that you could throw. And when you're 6'2", 147 pounds, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of easy to, you know, focus on a jab when that's like the main weapon you're going to need. You know what I mean? And, you know, he was just very tall for his weight class, man. So the jab, he had a lot of leverage. That's why he was able to knock guys out with that right hand. You know what I mean? When you have leverage, that's where you get knockouts. But I would have to watch him, Ralph. Like, off the top of my head, I know he utilized the jab a lot, but I don't know, like, in particular, like, if he did distinctive things with his particular jab that is different from a traditional jab that other fighters are using. So I'd have to look, you know what I mean, and really refresh my memory. It's been a long time since I really sat there and watched Tommy Hearns. Coach Anthony, I've definitely been in some street fights, and you know, I've definitely been on some street fights, and it sucks, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like talking about street fights or even talking too much about it, because I don't like bringing that energy, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, anything that you talk about too often, you know, you're bringing to the horizon, you know what I mean? I believe in that type of energy, you know what I mean? So I try to avoid that energy. You know what I'm saying? And but the truth is, I've been in quite a few street fights, and you know, I have my own theories and my own ways that I've handled them in the past. And you know, one thing about it, man, you know, you can go to jail too. Like, people talk about street fights as if there's no jail behind it. You know what I'm saying? People act as if you can't kill somebody when they hit their head on the pavement. People act as if they can't get killed. You know what I'm saying? That dude might have a knife or a gun. People act as if that dude won't retaliate. You knock somebody out and think, yeah, I knocked him out. And that, you think that dude's not simmering and thinking about it? Like, yo, I'm going to kill this dude next time I see him. You see what I'm saying? It's something that if you can avoid it, like, really avoid it. Like, I would prefer for everybody in this chat right now that if you get into a situation where you may have to get into a fight, if there's any chance of talking your way out the situation, I would go that route. However, just like boxing, protect yourself at all times. You know what I mean? And one thing about me, I'm an advocate of that. If I even feel energy, if we're in person and I even feel energy, like you're considering hurting me or threatening me in any way, I'm prepared to protect myself at all times by any means, not just boxing, not just throwing punches, by any means. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just something that I don't really like to talk about too much, because it's like, Yes, we do have to address the elephant in the room, but we do have to avoid it if we can, because there's a lot of repercussions to it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think the crunk gym approach is necessary for toughening and refining the next generation of aspiring fighters? When you say the crunk gym approach, can you elaborate more on what the crunk gym approach means to you? Hard old school conditioning and hard in-house sparring. Okay, well, I mean, I'm okay with the old school conditioning. The in-house hard sparring, I'm okay with competitive sparring. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with when your fighters are getting hit too much in the head and you're sparring them too often. That I do have a problem with, because it's like a wall, man. If you hammer a wall, eventually you're gonna break the wall down. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just begin. You're not actually making your guy stronger, tougher by him getting his head punched in. But there's a fine line there. Like, you do want your fighter to go through some tough sparring and some tough conditioning and figure out how to get out of tough situations in the gym. So therefore, in a fight, he can also do it. So it's kind of like sparring in a degree, as far as how hard you spar. It's kind of like putting food in the oven. Like, you got to know when to take the food out. I don't know if that analogy makes sense to you, right? If you leave it in too long, it'll burn. But if you take it out too soon, it's not fully cooked. It's the same thing with a fighter. You want to leave it in the oven at the right temperature for the right amount of time, and then you want to take it out. And that's how you get a properly cooked dish. And that's the same thing you do with a fighter. You don't leave a fighter in the ring too much getting hurt. At the same time, you don't pull him out as soon as it gets a little difficult. Because if you do that, then he gets a tendency of being weak. But if you let him get hurt, then eventually he ain't going to be able to perform, right? So that's the best way I could put it. Sean Breezy, what's your favorite defensive move after throwing a left hook? Um, it depends. It depends. I mean, it depends if I mean, I would probably say my best defensive move would be just to slip back over so I could try to follow up with a second shot. So, like, if I throw a left hook to the head, boom, if you block it or if I land it, I want to get back over here so I could try to throw a left hook to the body. So I would say this is my defensive move, slipping back over the same direction that I threw the shot. Now, it does also depends. Like, if I throw it all the way through and I miss, then I might bend the waist. If I throw, then I might roll under sometimes and come with another hook. It just depends. I don't have a favorite. That's a good way to put it. I don't have a favorite and I don't teach a favorite. We have situational. So whatever situation that we need to handle at that particular time, whatever we see, that's what we're going to do. We don't fall in love with any particular moves. We don't fall in love with any particular styles. We simply adapt to what's happening in front of us. It's a fight. It's not it's not something that, you're like, oh, this is my favorite thing to do, so I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to win this fucking fight. And I'm sure Shakur Stevenson has a lot of favorite things he likes to do, but when he fought De Los Santos over the weekend, he didn't do 99% of the things he likes to do. What he decided to do was throw a jab and not get hit. Why? Because he didn't want to get hit. And he figured, I'll just squeeze out a victory because it's by any means. And I think that's how fighters really think. You know what I mean? Whatever I have to do is what I'm going to do. So if I throw a shot and I miss, I might bend the waist, I might roll under, I might slip. It just depends. But the good thing is I know how to do all those things. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you should do. You should work on everything, understand why you're working on everything, and pull out the tools necessary in that situation. Coach, when you have your fighters bend the waist, do you ever like for them to come back with a counter after? I mean, sometimes we'll shoot the uppercut downstairs. You know what I'm saying? If I have a guy bend the waist, if we can get the shot off. But a lot of times what happens when you bend the waist, you fall into a smother. That's what happens most of the time. Or you circle out. There's really not going to be too many rooms for counter punches. What's going to end up happening is like I said, you bend the waist, the guy shoots a jab or a right hand or a hook. And when you bend the waist, the shot falls over and you fall into a clinch. Or you circle out because you're already on this side. You might as well just circle to your right or your left if you're a southpaw. But there are going to be moments where if you guy like a southpaw throws a left hand at me and I bend the waist, I could shoot the uppercut to the body. We talk about that on how to box the opposite stance. You know what I'm saying? Guy throws that shot, you drop, touch the body with an uppercut. It's no different than if a right hand came at me and I slipped and I threw a left hook to the body. If a southpaw throws a left hand at me, I slip or drop, throw an uppercut to the body. If I have that opportunity, you know what I'm saying? What's the most effective punch in boxing behind the jab? Whatever punch is your best shot. You know what I'm saying? Whatever punch is your best shot. Certain fighters just have better punches, right? Tommy Hearns was known for his jab and his right hand. Other fighters are known for their left hook. Other fighters are known for their uppercuts. So some fighters just have better punches than other punches, and that's going to be your most effective punch. What do you think is the most underrated punch or technique that you think all fighters should have in their skill set? Underrated? I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anything underrated. I think everything is properly rated. Anything outside of a jab is a power punch. If a guy's ducking, you should throw uppercuts. You know, if a guy is exposing himself for the left hook, you should throw your hooks. Maybe the right hook is the most underrated. The rear hook, maybe that's the most underrated. You know what I mean? Because a lot of trainers don't like to teach it. But if you teach the right hook at the right time, it's a very effective punch. You know what I'm saying? So, you could watch Floyd Mayweather versus Cotto, and he used the right hook quite a bit in that fight. I actually did a film study. You should go back and watch that one. And he was doing the right hook. He was landing the right hook quite a bit. And he's done it with a lot of fighters. But again, it depends on your fighter, what they're doing. If somebody's circling to their left, you might want to cut them off for the right hook. Somebody standing in front of you with their high guard like this, you might want to go ahead and shoot that right hook around the side. You know what I mean? Or the left hook. Like I said, when I say right hook, I mean the left hook for the southpaw. So that might be the one, the rear hook. What's your thoughts on the concept of being a weight bully? Should we not give credit to the fighter for the discipline of weight cutting? Fighters often fail to make their respective weights. I mean, that's a touchy one, man, because it's like some guys, they try their best to cut to a division that they know they're much bigger than the guys, so they'll suffer to make the weight, but then they'll rehydrate really well. And some of these guys really know how to rehydrate to where they're actually strong on fight night, where other fighters don't know how to rehydrate the same. So that's the issue with the weight bully stuff. Like, you got to understand, some fighters have better nutritionists and better weight cutting protocols. So if you got a guy with you, like a conditioning, strength and conditioning / nutritionist who understands weight cutting to the science of it, like they're extremely good at it, they might be able to get you down, you know what I'm saying, to a weight that you're much stronger, much bigger than the guys, and then they know how to rehydrate you. And it's not that it's cheating, but it's kind of like, it's just kind of like, you know, you got the advantage, man. You know, you're too big for that weight. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a touchy subject, man. It's a touchy subject. I don't really know how to answer that, because it's like, you're right. Should the other fighters not be just more disciplined? But I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you make a good point. I don't know how to answer this, man. I don't know. Ralph, Julio Cesar Chavez said he never used a speed bag. What's your opinion on the speed bag, and what time should a boxer wake up, in your personal opinion? A speed bag is really not necessary at all. I came up in gyms with no speed bags, and there was a lot of good fighters coming out the gym. I think that the speed bag is definitely overrated. It's not necessary one bit. However, if you have access to one, you can hit it. And as far as what time should a fighter wake up, I think a fighter shouldn't focus so much on a wake up time, but more so make sure he's getting enough sleep. Everybody got different lives, different patterns. You know, some guys have night jobs. You got to understand, a lot of boxers still work. You know what I mean? There's fighters out there with 20 pro fights. They got jobs. So, you know, what time should you be going to bed? What time should you be waking up? That's relative to your lifestyle. But you should be prioritizing sleep. So you shouldn't be up all night. You shouldn't be, you know, partying, doing stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But let's just say you work the night shift and you get off at 5, 6 in the morning, then you're going to bed at 7 a.m. when people are waking up or already awake. So you go to sleep from 7 till 1, 2 p.m. You're going to get judged for waking up at 2 when you work the night shift. But then you go to the gym at 5 or 6 and you put in work. You know what I mean? And then maybe you go for a run at like 8 or 9 and then you go to work. You see what I'm saying? Or you get off of work and you run and then you go to sleep. You see what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're putting in your work and you're getting your sleep and you're eating right and you're living the lifestyle, the actual time doesn't matter so much. I'm on my way to being an amateur and keep whooping the amateur in my gym, but today he got mad and put me in a headlock, but I'm a nice guy. How should I approach this? Well, your coach has to control that. That's your coach's job. So I would talk to my coach about it. And you know, I mean, it depends what kind of headlock he's putting you in, man. Like if he's trying to choke you and put you to sleep, we got a big problem. I mean, I would do whatever I got to do to get him to let go. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing whatever I got to do to get him to let go, man. I'm gonna be honest. Now, but after the fact, I would have it. You know, your coach needs to address it, and if it doesn't get addressed, man, I'll be like, I'm not sparring him. He don't know how to act. So that's really what it comes down to. But that's really your coach's job. We could easily eliminate all this weight cutting bullshit by implementing same day weigh-ins. Yeah, I mean that's a solution. The only problem is this thing with the weight cutting bullshit is at the end of the day, you still need to rehydrate. So a fighter's not going to cut weight no more at all. Like we're just gonna fight at what weight are we fighting at now? You know what I'm saying? That's the only question I have. Can we get a shadow boxing video like the heavy bag? I have a whole course on shadow boxing. I have a whole course on shadow boxing, champ. It's in the master boxing bundle. Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm out of here, man. I want to say thank you for the love and support. I will see you guys tomorrow, Thursday. And that's it for now, y'all. Take care.
What's going on, guys? Your boy, Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing up.